but it's got all these other records when she wasn't there. I mean, there's lots of blank pages. There's a blank page there and there. And again, these ones are back to Durban. And again, a complete mess of different dates that have been added. Dates that my mum wasn't in the hospital. More altered, more empty blank pages. Here we go. Now this is another one of the very few records that has got the right dates, except it hasn't got the 21st. Oh, it's on the next page up. No, there's nothing on there. So it hasn't got the 21st, which was the day she was admitted, but it has got the 22nd, it has got the 23rd and the 24th. Now I believe that the dark writing has been written over the top because it looks different, and I recognise the handwriting as to be someone that I know, and yet there's other handwriting in this record, and I believe that that's whoever it is from the hospital, and then writing has been added to it in dark writing on the top. And we got lots of empty pages. Again, we got a 22nd there, but again it's on old paperwork. 24th, 25th, more crossed out names. And there's a whole load of records that say about gynecology to do with mum having a pessary apparently, and this record here, which I recognise the handwriting, says that mum had trouble with prolapse for 35 years, but she didn't. And in the GP records, there's no record of this at all, nothing at all. There are records in the validating hospital records. Now, the records here, most of them are stamped, but the ones that are written, handwritten, are the ones that I think have been added to. I don't, because the ones that are stamped is just stamped. They use a stamp. They don't use they don't handwrite them in. So I believe that some of them have been added. Well, a lot of them have been added, and I believe a lot of these letters have been added. Now this letter here this is in the 2018 hospital records, and this one says that mum had dementia for a long time, 12 years, and she's deteriorated over that. And it says that she refused memory clinic in 2014, but she didn't. And the letter is signed by, or it's written by Julie Dent and Melanie Walker. Now Melanie Walker is the lady who answered the complaint letter, my complaint letter, and she couldn't find any altered dates in any of the hospital records at all. She couldn't find any altered or changed dates. And Julie Dent, she's also one of the ladies in that picture that I've shown you on part 8. And again, you got Julie Dent and Melanie Walker at the bottom. Like I say, Melanie Walker can't find any changed dates, and Julie Dent is a lady in the picture having an anniversary party with my sister-in-law a year to the day from when the GP records are written. And the other lady that's in the photographs having the anniversary party is Susan Hailstone, who wrote the GP records on the 24th of June 2020, and then had an anniversary party with my sister-in-law on the 24th of June 2021 with Julie Dent and that other lady Claire, who the coroner knows really, really well. I could hear them speaking when they were leaving, and my sister-in-law Sally hugged Claire, and I could hear them saying, we'll see each other on our yachts at the weekend. Now my brother and sister-in-law, they got a yacht, and they moor it at a marina not far from here in South Devon. Begins with B, I think it is. I think there's a harbour there as well where they go fishing. Anyway, there we go. And that's the end of this, all of the hospital records from 2018. Now, when I ordered the hospital records, they came through in 2020, and some of the records it took them about 6 months for them to actually supply me with the records from the hospital. They wouldn't release them, first of all, and I had to go through a solicitor, which all cost me money, to get the hospital records, which were rightfully mine to actually to look at. but it took them 6 months for them to get back to me to provide me with the records. And I believe that the reason that it took them 6 months to come up with the records was because they had to write them to validate the 2018 records. So the reason that I believe that is true is because this is supposed to be a record from 2007 when Mum fell and fractured her right wrist, and yet the postcode on it is EX1088FF, and Mum's postcode back then wasn't that, it was different. And so because the postcode's wrong, I'd say that this record had been swapped with the admission record from 2018, because it's got all the same times and dates and everything on it, except for the postcode's incorrect for 2007. It says that Mum arrived in a car, which she did, accompanied by her husband, which she did, and I was there as well, but I turned up afterwards. It's got everything else is right on it, but the postcode is wrong, it's incorrect, and that comes up an awful lot. It comes up in the x-rays, in the GP radiology records as well. And as you can see there, then this is, so I'm just going to show you, that's page 1 that's got the wrong postcode on it, and this is, oh sorry, that's page 1, this is page 2, so that's the end of page 1, and it's got 14th of the 1st 07, wrong postcode though on the top page. And then the next page down, which is page 3, it's got the right postcode for 2007 when Mum was 73 and fell and fractured her right wrist on the 14th of the 1st, and the record is on paperwork from 2005, 2006. So you've got one record that's got the wrong postcode for the year, and then you've got the next record that's got the right postcode for the same year. That's kind of funny. And there's the date, the 14th of the 1st, 07, when Mum fell and fractured her right wrist. Now, when Mum fell and fractured her right wrist, she couldn't write. She was using her left hand because she'd fractured her right wrist, which is why her signature was a bit scribbly. And again, you've got her postcode there again, which is correct for the year for when she was 73. And again, you've got a radiology request card here, 15th of the 1st, 2007, and her postcode is correct. Is it on all? Hang on a minute. Yeah, so on this one, in the whole of this record, it's got her postcode correct for the year for 2007 on all of it. And then there's another one which is in the radiology notes, and it's got the wrong postcode for the year. This is all the right postcode. I think it's in the radiology notes that with the coroner's report or something. Let me just go through. Right, so this is page 22, and this is from when Mum fell and fractured her ankle, her right ankle. So this is 2018. It says she went into Durban ward. She didn't. And I believe that page 1 that's got the wrong postcode for 2007 has been swapped with this document. And it's that's what I believe. I believe that's what's happened. Page 1's been swapped with page 22. Because page 1's got the wrong postcode for the year. And again, on the bottom there, you've got again radiology department in 2018, radiology request form, emergency department. It's got Mum's date of birth there is correct, 29th of March 1933, and her age 85 is correct as well. But on the bottom of this page, right down there, can you see that? Oh, I don't know whether I'm pointing it enough. Down on the very bottom there, let's see if we can zoom in for you. Bottom. The paperwork's from 2006. It doesn't make any sense for 2018 paperwork. I tried to point this out to the head coroner, to the hospital, to all of them, to the police and all that sort of thing, and nobody seems to take any notice. I've written to the police 50 times, more than 50 times I should think, and I've reported this. They've got a full file of everything that's gone on. They won't look at it. There you go, 14th of the 1st 07 rather than 14th 5th 18, but I believe that that's been altered to that. I'm not pointing at it. Hang on a minute. Like I say, the police have told me that when a coroner makes his conclusion, that's final, and so the police will do nothing about it. They won't do anything about it, basically. They won't look into anything to do with it at all, because the coroner got it wrong. the head coroner of the Devon and Cornwall area, he got it wrong. And so because he got it wrong, when a coroner makes his conclusion, that is final. So Devon and Cornwall Police, the headquarters at Hevertree, at Middlemore, they won't do anything about it. They won't take any further action in this case because the coroner concluded his decision that my mum died on the 28th of May 2018, even though his assistant Lindsay Ainsworth, who's something to do with the police as well, she concluded that she died on the 23rd of May 2018, and then she identified my mum on the 24th. But because, I don't know why, she then put that mum died on the 28th when she didn't. And this guy, who wasn't there looking after my mum on a day when she wasn't in the hospital, on old paperwork, apparently operated or said that she should have an operation. Mum wasn't there. I'm just making this clear. I also wrote to Dorset Police and I had a reply from them. The Dorset Police headquarters, they said the same thing. When a coroner makes his conclusion, that's final. And so we, the police of Dorset Police, will not take any further action. And it's Dorset Force Headquarters, Winfirth, Newburgh, Dorchester, but they won't take any action either. So the police as a whole, Devon and Cornwall and Dorset Police, won't take any action because the coroner has made his conclusion, and so they won't go against his conclusion. I believe that the hospital records, when I applied for them and they came through from June onwards of 2018, they came through as Part 1 and Part 2, and the Part 1 and the Part 2 both validated and contradicted the 2018 hospital records written by my family, along with the conspirators who were to do with the hospital, and it was to cover up what truly happened to my mum in the hospital in 2018. And they added the extra 10 days of records, and the records that were put in 2020 were to validate those records. There was Part 1 and Part 2, and this is Part 2. And the Part 2, there are more extra letters to do with the gynecology department, to do with my mum having a pessary, and the x-rays that have been put through in 2018 have a pessary on, and the x-rays are on the 14th and 15th of May 2018, and they have a pessary on. The 14th and the 15th, dates my mother wasn't in hospital, and the majority of altered dates within the hospital records are on the 14th and 15th, not exclusively those dates, because you've seen there's some that's the 22nd, there's some that's the 19th, there's some that are other dates, but the majority of them are the 14th and the 15th of May 2018 are the main altered dates. And the x-rays that are the 14th, 6 x-rays, 2 days, 14th and 15th, all have mum's date of birth correct but her age wrong. They've all got pessaries, and this is all to do with the pessary thing. Now, within this record, a lot of the records that have been retyped, basically, at the bottom of it, it is the date 08/07/2020, and these records are validating the 2018 records. And this one is typed 12th of July 2018. So the other ones are validating the 2020 records, are validating the 2018 records. Again, there's so much that's got nothing written on it, and then there's some that's like that one there. That one's got the correct age and the correct date, but it's from 2007. It's got the correct postcode as well. But there's loads, absolutely tons in. A lot of them, the records were used, so the admission records, in the 2018 admission records, mum's apparent first visit to the hospital was on the 22nd of the 1st, 2007, but it was actually the date that the letter was written. It wasn't, or typed, it wasn't the date that the mum went in. Mum was there the 14th and the 15th of the 1st, 07. So the 2020 records, part 1 and part 2, have been typed to validate the 2018 records. And then there's a whole load of records like this that are on bits of paper that have got that written on it, which is just bizarre. And that says Clarity Gazebos. That's nothing to do with the hospital, is it? There's loads of this, of Clarity Gazebos, which is very strange. So overall, I'm just going to say the records were written by my family. The 2020 records were written or typed by the hospital to validate the 2018 records written by my family. The people who conspired along with my family are in the photographs in part 8. Julie Dent, was the head chair, and she was also a chief executive of the hospital. I have pictures of her. If you type her name in to Google search along with the hospital, Royal Devon and Exeter Hospital, you'll see pictures will come up with her and her friend Melanie, who couldn't find any change dates within the hospital records. The other lady in the picture in the pink outfit is Susan Hailstone, who wrote the GP records. Again, they validate the other records. I mean, it all validates each other. The lady in the blue denim outfit, she's called Claire, who moors her boat in a marina, along with my sister-in-law, who moors her boat in that marina, same one. They're the only ones that hugged, and I could hear them talking about them mooring their boat, or not mooring their boat, but being on their yachts at the weekend. So yeah, Susan Hailstone and Julie Dent conspired with my sister-in-law. And my sister-in-law, I read out the bit that my sister-in-law wrote about me, filming them on that date, the 24th of June 2021, when the records were written by Susan Hailstone on the 24th of June 2020. The GP records, there's lots of things in there that say that Mum had it since she was from 2014 onwards, whereas Mum didn't. She wasn't diagnosed until 2016, and her GP, her GP wrote a letter to the coroner's inquest where she stated that Mum was tested for dementia in 2016, but at that point she declined memory clinic, whereas the letter that I just showed you that's signed or written by Julie Dent says that she declined memory clinic in 2014, but that wasn't the case. Anyway, all of these things, the hospital records, everything, it's all to cover up what truly happened to my mum, and it is a cover-up. I believe it's a cover-up in the hospital records, in the GP records. Although Mum's doctor wrote that letter to the coroner's inquest, she also put in that my mum went in on the 14th, had an operation on the 15th and died on the 28th. But she clearly didn't read her own records, because within her own records is the letter from the coroner's assistant, Lindsay Ainsworth, that says that Mum died on the 23rd, the night of the 23rd. It's written by Lindsay Ainsworth, and then she also typed that Mum had been identified on the 24th, the same day that I saw my mum dead. Same person put that down. And then she then said that in the coroner's opening statement of the coroner's inquest that Mum died on the 28th. I'm putting all of this together. This is the all to do with the hospital records and how my mum was unalived by the people I've just pointed out to you, and the fact that I believe that in the hospital clinical negligence was committed in that hospital, and there's so many things, inconsistencies, but apparently when something like this happens, you only have a certain amount of time. Doesn't matter that it took you 3 or 4 years to find out what truly happened, to find out the names of those 3 ladies that had the anniversary party with my sister-in-law. The fact that my brother told me he only wrote the records and he didn't do anything else wrong. The police won't investigate because they won't go against the coroner's conclusion. You have 3 years basically to get your complaint into a hospital. You can try going through a NHS ombudsman and things like that. It doesn't really help you, not when you don't really know what happened, but you've only got 3 years. And the only other way to do it would be to do a judicial review of the hospital, of the coroner, of the GP practice, which would be nice to do, but I can't afford to keep paying out money. I spent 70,000 on lawyers and solicitors and things, and not really got very far, because people won't go against coroners, especially in the area that you live. But I mean, if you did a judicial review of, let's say, just the hospital, with the evidence that I've provided in these videos of all of the altered dates, you would be able to see what happened to my late mum and how the whole thing has been covered up in 2018 and in 2020, 2021, and onwards till now. Although I'm not allowed to report it to the police, and the police won't do anything. The police should do something, because this is a crime. Lawyers and that lot, they should do something, because this is clinical medical negligence. For the doctors, for a junior doctor to take direction from my mum's husband is just awful. Just awful. I believe that my mum was unalived in the hospital in 2018. And all the people that are concerned, because they're high up, you're not allowed to do anything to go against them. And this is what I'm putting this out here. If you've got this far, I mean, well done, because we're nearly at an hour. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, follow. I'm on YouTube, Ian's Truth Be Told True Crimes, and I'm on TikTok as well. I'm sure that eventually people will look at it, and whether people do anything, I don't know. I have named everyone as well, because everybody is involved, and it's clear, because I've written it, I've read it off documents, and the people that are in the pictures, I've been told by friends, relatives, doctors, nurses, people from different marinas who have yachts. All sorts of people have rung me and told me, that's who that is, that's who that is, that's who that is, and the other one's your sister-in-law. Thank you for watching.